Hey everybody, it's Andy aka Max Rider. We're back with more Minecraft. I'm going to continue telling the story of the inheritance from Horror Stories from the Red Room for Call of Cthulhu. So, our fellows are kind of split up, and one of the major events actually happens at this point because the Milner, the hat shop girl, Milner, whatever you want to call her, because I guess she makes hats as well as sells them. So yes, she. While one guy's looking at the back of the wardrobe, which seems to have a loose board, she goes over and looks out the window because she thinks she hears like a scratching, rattling noise coming from it. What could it be? Why, it's a trap. She suddenly feels herself shoved out the window. Now, downstairs in the basement, meanwhile, the nurse and what's his name, the soldier, have found the kitchen, and suddenly they spot. Oh, I forgot. So they had to get the key from the lady who used to be a cook. Her husband was the gardener. But she's this nasty old alcoholic. She was a really heavy-set woman and just mean as hell. And she did give them the key, and she also told them her husband had hanged himself in the house like 5 years ago, and she hadn't bothered to tell the lawyer because she didn't figure the lawyer would care so long as somebody was looking after the place. Well, this lady obviously had not been looking after the place. It was so nasty. Okay. How are we doing here? Okay, we're down another pick already. I guess I should have kept all those picks. So, anyway, they spot her in the basement, but she's like younger, not as nasty. She's wearing a cook's clothing, and she yells at this maid that comes in with these potatoes, and then everything disappears and goes all nasty, gross, disgusting again. So these are like flashback, time slips, something like that they're experiencing. They go into the scullery after that. They search around. They're looking for candles. They finally find a couple. They go in the scullery, and they find... Jesus Christ. Okay. I gotta watch what I'm doing here. That scared the fuck out of me. That scared the pajoobies out of me. Sorry. So anyway, they go into the... I've got some fire resist on the bar, but still. And I'd rather not die if I don't have to. So they go into the scullery, and they find themselves, and they spot the old man again, and everything is nice and clean in there, and he is pulling up the flagstones to the floor. Then everything disappears, and it's all nasty again. They decide, the soldier's like, I'm looking under the floor, and he starts trying to tear up the floor, and that's when they hear the scream from outside. The nurse heads outside immediately. She runs for the basement doors that lead outdoors, actually. And she goes there to find the hat sales girl, however you want to call her, has fallen, bum, 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 and is in a great deal of pain on the ground. So she goes to tend to her, and actually goes looking for her, goes back to the car to get her kit. This guy's here. So that happens. There we go. This is just to make this look somewhat nice. Okay. Oh, come on, come on. Now we gotta fill in all this mess. So, I'm trying to think of why the soldier came back downstairs. I can't remember why. I do remember that the guy that was upstairs, the mechanic, came running down the steps, and... Oh, that's why he came upstairs. Okay, so the mechanic, so the dilettante has come out, has wandered around upstairs, and he has spotted the old man. Did he spot the old man dragging the girl? Something weird happened, and he was freaking out. And all of a sudden he hears footsteps rushing at him from the hallway. So he leans out the door, and he just takes a shot at the mechanic who had been running to help the girl who was screaming. Bum, bum, bum. So, where are we time-wise? Sweet. Got plenty of time. I can hopefully finish this story. The mechanic ignores him, runs downstairs. They aid the girl. They're talking about the dilettante who's upstairs somewhere. What is he doing? When they all of a sudden hear another scream, he went into that other room too, and he started messing around with that back wall of the wardrobe as well, because he saw the wardrobe was open, and he also realized there was room missing. He actually slides it aside. There's a room back there. It's a bathroom, and there's a corpse inside. But then he decides to go look out the window to see if the girl's still out there, and then he gets shoved out the already broken open window. So down he goes as well. So the nurse grabs both of them and shoves them into a, pretty much tells them to stay in the parlor with her, while she's transferring patients and stuff. Yeah, the soldier came upstairs when he heard the gunshot. She's transferring patients. Mechanic goes upstairs to see if he can find out where the dilettante is or what happened, and sees the open secret panel and goes in. So he sees the old man cleaning up. He's got a bucket and a mop, and he's cleaning up in there, and everything's clean in this bathroom, in the secret door, hidden door, bathroom. And then he sees the old man look towards the tub, which was like blood stained. And the old man's body's in there too. So something just dripped down from above. Okay. I don't want something to come dripping. Anyway, so the thing comes out of the bathtub is like a bloated woman, coming at him, and it's huge and horrific and terrible, and he is, of course, terrified. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? So he flubs the sanity check, and he ends up losing like 10 points of sanity, gets amnesia for his little sanity thing, and good lord, a lot of baby pigmen in here. Good lord, there's nothing but baby pigmen in here. It's weird. One of these might do it. Maybe, we'll see. Let's take some extra stone just in case. We're not cutting anything, so we should have plenty of ability here. I need to light this too. Anyway, so he goes temporarily insane, gets amnesia, and that's the last we hear from him for a while. And they're talking down in the parlor for a long time before they're like, "Where's the mechanic?" So they head upstairs, and they find him just crouched by the wardrobe, just freaking out. And they get him out of there. He can't remember what happened. He doesn't want to, and that was his disposition. Now, the soldier has been kind of flipping out as well, and he starts hearing like crying coming from the basement. So he's determined to go down there. The nurse, in the meantime, is determined not to let anybody else get hurt, go crazy, whatevs. So she's like, nobody's going, and he's like, I'm going. And so he leaves, and she's like, whatever, if he dies, he dies. Which was kind of cold and heartless, I thought. This looks wrong. I think these have to come out. Pretty certain they do. Go ahead and put this in to make it look slightly better. So, okay, we don't need to do that anymore. So he runs down to the basement, starts digging up that spot he had started digging but hadn't finished digging before, and finds a body. Finds the body of the maid down there. In the end, they decide, we're done with this place. It's too creepy. They're hearing people walking around upstairs. The crying has stopped in the basement, at least. Boom, we're done. Let's go add some candles, or sorry, some torches. I got 50. I got some torches here. I'm hoping this is high enough that you won't bang your head. Let's see how high it is over here. Where are we time-wise? 9 minutes, we're almost done. So they leave, they go talk to the constable again. He's willing to come with them. He doesn't, they tell him about the bodies and about, just about the bodies, about the normal stuff. So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is only 3 as well. So, yeah. So, he comes to the house with them. They find the bodies. Nothing else weird happens. He says he'll have the bodies removed as, not all of them go back, but as the mechanic and the, God, who else went? It wasn't the dilettante. As the mechanic... Who was it? Who went with him? It was the mechanic and the soldier. As they are getting in the car to leave, they look and they see a man. The old man is up in the window, in one of the third floor windows, just looking down at him. And he says, one says to the other, "Did you see that?" I think the mechanic says, "Did you see that?" And the soldier goes, "Nope. No, I didn't," or something like that. And it was cool. It made for a really neat ending for that scenario. In the end, the dilettante had a broken leg. It never fully healed, so he walks with a limp now. We got to figure out banners and stuff, but I think we're about done with this for today. The others are all creeped out by all these... What the hell? Oh, that was just a render glitch. By all the weirdness that happened. And yeah, it was a good start. It was a good, and it's the only like ghost story Call of Cthulhu scenario I've ever found. I found some chill scenarios I can use, but no ghost story ones. So that's about it, everybody. Let's go ahead and drop some of this cobblestone. Let's drop all this stuff off for now. We're almost done in the Nether for now. I think this is protected enough. I don't think I need to make it completely sealed like the other ones, and I'm fine with it not being. So, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, I appreciate it. And I will talk to y'all next time.